Transurfing Principles. 1. Awakening Principle. Wake up, right here, right now. Be aware, and remember that everyone is a dreamer, and everything that is happening around you is nothing more than a dream. Only the dream no longer has any control over you. Now that you have woken up in the dream, you can influence how events will unfold. Your advantage lies in awareness. Feel your strength. Strength is always yours when you remember it. From now on, everything will be as you want it to be. Interpretation. Your birth into this life represents a new awakening after a series of past incarnations, dreams about reality. From the moment you appeared in the world, you had amazing abilities. You could hear the rustling of the morning stars, see auras, and communicate with birds and animals. The entire world was an astonishing extravaganza of luminous energy, and you were the magician, capable of controlling it. However, you soon fell once again under the influence of others and were plunged into a dream. The dreamers constantly and intentionally focused your attention on the physical aspect of reality. As a result, your magical abilities were lost. Have you ever felt as if life were a dream in which reality is controlling you rather than you controlling it? The time has come to reclaim your former power. 2. Principle. Hacking the dream. Right now, embrace the awareness that your life is a game, which you have been pushed into playing. While you are mentally engrossed in the game, you can't objectively evaluate a situation or influence the course of events in any significant way. So first, come down into the audience hall. Take a good, calm look at everything around you and say to yourself, in this moment, I am fully awake and aware of where I am, what is happening, what I am doing, and why. Then walk back onto the stage and continue playing your role while remaining the witness, like any other member of the audience. Now you have a huge advantage: awareness. You have hacked the game and acquired the ability to control it. Interpretation. When you dream, you are at the mercy of circumstance. The rational mind sleeps and accepts everything at face value, as if everything were unfolding as it should. Waking life is pretty much the same. You might tend to think that reality is something that exists independently, and that you are powerless to influence it. You are mostly resigned to your lot, the set of capabilities given to you, and the conditions of the environment in which you have to exist. All you can do is go with the flow of that fate, from time to time making minor attempts to assert your rights. Is it really possible to change things? Too right it is, and you will. Until now, you have probably perceived reality as you were taught to. Now be aware that reality is like a dream. You can only control the situation through lucid dreaming. On stage, everyone is playing a role, and all the actors are interacting with you in one way or another. They might expect something of you, make impositions, requests, and demands. They may help, obstruct, love, or hate you. Look at the game consciously, from a distance, and then you will understand it all. 3. Principle. Child of God. There is a small particle of God in every one of us. You are a child of God, and your life is God's dream. By shaping your own reality with the power of intention, you fulfill God's will. Your intention is God's intention. As this is the case, how can you doubt that your intention will be realized? All it takes is to claim the right. When you ask God for something, it is just the same as if God had asked something of himself. Can God really ask something of his or herself? Is there any one person alive from whom God would ask for something for himself or herself? God just takes what he, she wants. Do not ask, demand, or strive. Shape your own reality by way of conscious intention. Interpretation. The world is a theater of dreams in which God is simultaneously a member of the audience, an actor, a scriptwriter, and a producer. As a member of the audience, God observes the play that is unfolding on the stage of the world. As an actor, God feels and experiences everything in the same way as the character whose role he, she is playing. God creates and controls reality through the intention of all living things. God placed a part of his will together with the soul in every living being, and then sent them out into the dream, into life. God gave every living soul the freedom and power to create their own reality by the measure of their awareness. Practically all living beings omit to use the power of intention consciously and with clear purpose. In a state of non-lucid dreaming, it is as if they are vaguely aware of wanting something without really knowing what exactly. Their intentions are therefore blurred, vague, and mostly unconscious. In this respect, man has developed little more than animals. The pendulums have not only succeeded in taking away people's awareness of their own abilities, they have perverted the very meaning of life, replacing the notion of being used of God with worship, whereas in fact, the true goal of life and the idea of service of God consists in co-creation, creation together with God. 4. Principle. A star is born. In order to achieve real success, you have to stop following widely accepted stereotypes and walk your own path. Anyone who pulls out of the general system creates a new measure of success. Pendulums cannot bear individuality. They spot a rising star and have no choice but to make of them a favorite. Once a new rule has been established, the ranks make a U-turn and start following the rising star. In order to establish your own rules, you have to be yourself. You can do it. You simply have to claim the privilege. Only you can decide what privileges you may or may not enjoy. Interpretation. People spend their entire lives being told they are far from perfect, and that success, wealth, and fame are the inheritance of the elite. Pendulums do not deny that anyone can succeed, but they do carefully hide the fact that everyone has their own unique qualities and abilities. For the pendulums, individuality is like death itself. If all its adherents were to become free individuals, shaking off the strings of control, the pendulum would simply fall apart. Stars are born independently, but the pendulums light them up. The role model, the standard of success, is created intentionally to drive the aspirations of the mass in one direction. In other words, the pendulum's task is to drive everyone into a single rank and force them to obey a common rule. You will achieve nothing until you realize that you have to step out of the rank and file. There is no point in playing someone else's game where you are not the one making up the rules. Whatever you do, always initiate your own game. This is the secret of success. 5. Principle. The world mirror. The world is what you think of it. The world is a mirror that reflects your relationship to it. Life is a game in which the world puts the same riddle to all its inhabitants. Okay, guess, what do I look like? Everyone responds in their own way according to their own perception. You are aggressive, or you are cozy, or even cheerful, gloomy, friendly, hostile, happy, ill-fated. The interesting thing is that in this quiz, everyone is a winner. The world agrees with everyone and appears before each according to the guise that was ordered. What do you think of your world? Interpretation. When a person is convinced that all the best things in this world have already sold out, their shelves will remain empty. When they think that buying a high-quality item will mean standing in a huge queue and then parting with a large sum of money, then that is exactly what will happen. If a person's expectations are pessimistic and riddled with doubt, then they will undoubtedly be justified. If a person expects to meet with an unfriendly environment, their misgivings will be proven true. However, when a person is imbued with the innocent thought that the world has reserved the best in life for them, this also works. The eccentric, who does not know that nothing can be achieved without a struggle, somehow finds himself or herself at the counter, where there has just been a fresh delivery as if timed especially for them. Then they suddenly learn that the first buyer gets everything for free. A long queue forms behind them of people who know that the reality of life is pretty miserable, and all the other fools were just lucky. If someday, when confronted with the realities of life, the lucky eccentric changes their opinion of the world, their reality will change accordingly. And when they finally open their eyes to the truth, they will be thrown right to the very back of the queue.